Welcome to the first ever GL Zone podcast. Vivian, Lily, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I'm Mina. I'm the Student Life Coordinator at Glendon. And Anna?
Yes, I'm Anna. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm the Communications Assistant for Student Affairs and Recruitment.
So we wanted to just have a conversation today about the GL Zone Peer Mentorship Program because a lot of students might not realize what it is or how it can benefit them. So I just wanted to get your feedback as senior students who've been involved with the program for a few years on some of the benefits and things that you've seen students get out of it and what you've gotten out of it yourselves.
Sure.
So maybe you want to just introduce yourselves a little bit and why you got involved in the Peer Mentor Program.
You can go first.
Okay. So hi, I'm Vivian. I'm in my fourth year of French Studies and Concurrent Education. I've been involved in GL Zone for the last 3 years now, and I've loved my time as a peer mentor and a peer leader. I love volunteering at the kiosk, and it's really rewarding to see students week after week come by, do the activities, and it's just a great way to meet people and reach out to people and get involved on campus.
Hi, I'm Lily. I'm also a fourth year French Studies Concurrent Education student. I also am a student success mentor with GL Zone. I love it. It's very fun. It's actually my first year doing it, but it's been a very rewarding experience, working at the kiosk, working in the office, getting to know the team, and as well as the Glendon community. It's just really enhanced my fourth year experience here at Glendon.
And I think it definitely helps for students to be reached out to by a peer
For sure.
in any capacity.
Yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
I think that's much more engaging than having regular staff or faculty.
No,
Yes.
it really is.
It's different.
Yeah. Like even in my first year, I remember having a peer mentor reach out to me, and I didn't know that Glendon had that program. And I remember thinking, oh, it's so cool that you have one-on-one contact with a current student in while you're incoming to your university education so that you can ask questions and have someone who's a bit closer to your age and closer to where you are in your life to relate to and to reach out to without being worried that they're going to judge you or that it'll take ages to hear back from them.
And how has being a leader shaped your university experience?
Go ahead, Lil.
Okay, I'll go first. I would say that it's shaped my university experience in the sense that it gives you more confidence, not just in yourself, but also in the community that you're building and in your future leadership skills. So I would say, like I said, this is my first year with GL Zone. And starting to work with Glendon, not only here, but over the summers as well, has really increased my confidence and given me a sense of independence and a sense of belonging here. And so I feel like being a leader is more than just giving out orders. It's also working with a team. And so having a whole team at GL Zone and the whole community of Glendon that rallies around you and supports your projects and comes to the kiosk to do the activities and engages in conversations with you, it means a lot, and it makes you feel like your life and your role, it has purpose, and you're providing meaning to somebody else's.
I don't think I could top that. Like that was pretty much spot on. I think both of us, we want to be teachers. So I think that this is just like another way that we can kind of give back to the community that, we've been a part of for so long and just continue helping students and getting involved in that sort of thing.
I do have a follow-up question because usually at the beginning I'm pretty shy. So were you guys always kind of leaders, or is this something that you grew into? Because, when you start off, were you guys maybe more on the shy side, or how did you actually get into doing this and not be scared or intimidated to do this?
Yeah, for sure. That's a good question. I mean, as a child, I was so shy. I was not going to talk to anybody. I was hiding behind my mom's leg, and I was not coming out from there. But I feel like as university has gone on, I've definitely developed more of a leadership role. I think the turning point was probably, I went and did the Explore program in Quebec, and living on my own there and kind of experiencing all of that and having to do things by myself. It really helped increase my confidence and make me feel more confident in leading other people to do the same. And so that's why coming back here, I worked for Explore at Glendon, and then that really helped my confidence as well. And that's what gave me the confidence to finally apply for GL Zone. Because when we came back from Quebec, Vivian was like, Lily, you should totally apply to GL Zone. And I was like, sure, I will. But then I was like, I just felt like I wasn't ready. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to wait till my fourth year. And maybe by then I'll feel more confident in myself as a Glendon student. and I'll feel more like, okay, I'm in my last year, I have expertise and I can lead people. And I felt like it worked because in my last year, I do feel like I have a lot more confidence, and I feel like taking that extra time helped. Working at Glendon and kind of building more of a community here and more relationships helped me feel more comfortable in leading others. But I would say my one regret was not joining sooner, because I think I could have developed those skills faster had I joined back when Vivian told me to. Because I think that, yes, leadership should come with confidence, and you should be confident when you step into that role, but it's okay to also not be 100% confident in yourself by stepping into that role, and to learn while you're being a leader. So I think if I was going to recommend to anybody coming in to their second year, because that's when you can start to apply for GL Zone, I would say you should, because you don't need to wait till you feel 100% confident. I mean, you can if you'd like, I did, but I also think that you can develop those skills while you're going through the process.
But this is really great. So if you're watching and if you want to apply and be part of our GL Zone team, you don't have to be necessarily an extrovert. So make sure to check out our website for that, and we'll be lucky to have you.
Definitely. And moral of the story, always listen to Vivian.
That kind of is the moral of the story.
But sometimes I am, I'll take a little bit of credit for things.
Well, I think it's so helpful for students coming in for their transition to feel welcome and
For
to
sure.
feel, included. And sometimes they don't want to ask for help. So it helps to have someone take the initiative and reach
Absolutely.
out to them to make them feel at home here. And that's really what our objective is. Have you found any challenges with the role? What's been the most difficult thing?
I think, just as a student, even myself being aware of the services that Glendon offers is sometimes how do I help this student? Where do I send them? What's the best place for them to go? And so I've learned over the years, okay, these are all the resources we have. These are the resources we have at Kiel in case, there's something that Glendon can't offer, in terms of even just going to sports events, I want to get involved on campus. I want to go to more sports games. Well, that's a place that you would go to at Kiel. So just, knowing where to send people for extra help, or if they have questions or whatever, that's kind of been a challenge. But I think, I've gotten the hang of it, and it's been good. Yeah.
Awesome.
I would say pretty much the same. To piggyback a bit off of that point, though, a challenge can be to accept that you might not know the answer. They're going to ask you things, and you might not be qualified to give them an answer, and it's better to be honest about that and try to give them the best possible opportunity to find the correct answers than to try and make something up or give a guess of what you think the answer is. So a lot of the times you'd have to direct them to other resources like academic services or financial services or those sorts of areas, because as much as we're there to help, we also need to get help from other people. And so that's also an important and hard lesson to learn sometimes.
Yeah, it's not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's just about being that resource for them to come to.
Absolutely.
And I think all of us need mentors.
Yes.
Just the way you're a mentor to a student, you get mentorship from maybe us, and then we also get mentorship. So I think mentorship in itself is very worthwhile.
Yeah.
And it kind of trickles down too. If you have a good mentor, you're going to be a good mentor, and then it just, the pattern kind of goes down. So yeah,
And sometimes
absolutely.
we think we have nothing to share.
Yeah.
Or we have no experiences. But I think everybody has something to contribute, because you've all been through the path. And even if it was difficult, maybe you have even more to share because you learned something from those challenges.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it helps to have a hand to kind of hold while you're going through the journey. And it's not necessarily a hand that you have to hold the entire time, but just one that's reaching out, that you can take whenever you feel you need.
Do you have any friendships maybe that you kind of made, or maybe a person that was closer to you, or you really developed a bond of mentorship and you're helping them out?
I think this probably answers the question.
No, that's the two of us basically. When I said we went, I did the Explore program at Quebec, we went together. So we lived there, and then when we worked for Glendon, we lived here together, and that's basically the two of us. Yeah.
But you met at Explore?
Yes. We had a class together, but we weren't super close. It
We
was
were
kind of just,
assignment buddies, you know.
Right.
You'd text her, you'd be like, "Okay, Vivian, when are we going to be done the assignment? It's due tonight," and we'd finish it and everything. And but we never really we didn't talk super outside of that,
Right.
Until we moved there and we were with each other 24/7. Like we have to talk about more than just the assignment.
There's no assignments to do.
We have to do our grocery shopping. We have to talk about, what movie we're going to watch and all the fun things like that. So I feel like that definitely helped build a bond. So I guess I would give advice to people that to make friends here, it's also important to spend time outside of class.
And
Don't
put yourself
just,
outside your comfort zone too.
For
Like,
sure.
That's something I had to do.
Really good advice.
Yeah.
Don't just rely on the assignment to get you a friend. Like it can give you the contact and the name. Like I never would have met Vivian had we not sat next to each other in class and started doing these projects. But you need to make the effort to text and to call or to go out or see what things you have in common and how you can maybe schedule outings around those, like books we both love to read or watching movies or things like that. So
That's so cute. Love that for you guys.
Is there
From
a piece-
assignment buddy to best friends.
yeah.
That's amazing. Is there a piece of advice that you always give to new students? Like, what's the one thing that you always want to share with them?
I'd say, well, there's two things that I say that kind of a saying at GL Zone. One of them is you're a person before you're a student, which is really important to remember that life happens. There's so many other things that happen in life apart from school in Glendon. And so the second piece is kind of attached to that. It's to give yourself some grace, especially when you're transitioning to first year, for example. You're not going to know your professors. You're not going to know the school. You're not going to know the expectations. And that's okay. And there are times where you are going to, make a mistake or you're going to feel stressed out or overwhelmed. And that's all still okay. And so that's kind of like the two pieces of advice that I kind of like put together and just make sure that they know that it's okay to make a mistake because you're going to get back up. You're going to learn. You're going to, pick yourself back up and going to be stronger than ever next time. And just, kind of that.
Yeah, I feel like that's perfectly said. Just don't be afraid of making the mistakes. Don't be afraid of putting yourself out there, trying something new. If you told me 4 years ago I'd be sitting in front of a microphone right now, I would have said, you're crazy. But here I am. So life can take you interesting places and don't turn down opportunities. I feel like just be open to as much as you can. Even before we left to go to Quebec, one of the pieces of advice somebody gave Vivian, and she actually shared with me as well, was try at least your hardest. Like, don't say no.
That's what Alexis told me,
Yeah.
actually. Alexis and Rosa, both of them. When I told them we were going to explore, they were like, one piece of advice I would give you is to not say no to doing things. So I passed that on to Lily, and it's been good.
That's awesome. So we have a lot of students from different backgrounds and a lot of different diverse need groups. So what strategies do you use to make everyone feel included and to cater to different backgrounds?
Well, I think in terms of like our kiosk activities, I think that's a big thing in terms of how we try and get the student body involved. We always try and make sure that our activities are as accessible as possible, as informative as possible. So we do, like if there's like International Women's Day, for example, was just a few weeks ago, we did an activity surrounding that. Or if it's Black History Month, there's an activity surrounding that. So there's always something that's kind of important that goes on at the kiosk, or something that celebrates another culture or celebrates a certain identity or that sort of thing. And so I think that's kind of one of the ways that we try and diversify, I guess, or be as inclusive as possible with the student community.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely with the kiosk activities, we try and be inclusive and keep those in mind when we're planning them. Even in emails, we always make sure to be mindful of people's preferred pronouns, of names, and try and respect everybody's wishes and identities. So we just try and keep all of those things in mind because they are important. And even languages like bilingualism, because Glendon is a bilingual campus. So if a student comes to the kiosk and they need to speak in French, like we can speak in French. For the most part, most of us can. So we try and accommodate those circumstances, and it's good. Like I think it helps foster that sense of community and the sense of belonging, because we're not just trying to cater to one specific group. We're trying to be diverse in the events we're offering, the activities we're offering, and just in our everyday conversation.
I think that's what makes Glendon so special, is that because of our size, we're able to really take care of these small little details.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. And we're very friendly.
Yeah.
That also helps.
If you could go back to your first year, is there something that you would do differently or some advice that you would give to yourself other than don't say no?
That is a good question. I mean, I guess I would have told myself not to be scared to try and participate more in clubs and organizations at Glendon. For instance, I could have applied to GL Zone in my second year, or I could have maybe tried to find a different club or something to get more involved. I think because we started our first year during COVID, it was difficult. Like, I was still on campus a lot, but campus was empty. It didn't look like the Glendon it looks like now. And I'm sure the Glendon that it looks like now doesn't look like the Glendon from 10 years ago. You know, it's always changing. But during the pandemic, it was quite empty because everyone was at home. So I think that kind of made me feel like, oh, I just come here, I do school, I go home. So I think if I could go back differently, I would try and change that mentality starting second year so that I would stick around more and try and be more involved. Because once you become more involved in the Glendon community, it doesn't just feel like school anymore. Like, I know, Mina, you kind of created this saying, like, Glendon, c'est chez moi. And it does like end up feeling a bit like your home, your second home, even if you're not living on residence. Like, if you're partaking in the activities, if you're talking with the people, you see Glendon's small, you'll see those people around the hallways. You'll say hi. They'll ask how you are. You'll feel like you're part of something, and you are. And I think it's good to try and get involved, to try and create that feeling within yourself, because otherwise it's just going to be school. And school's great, everyone, but school is, you know, it can only take you so far. You need, you know, some social aspects as well to kind of make the experience better.
Yeah, definitely. The more you put in, the more you get out.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
When I was a student, I didn't participate in any clubs. I was a commuter student and I was a mature student. So it was like you said, just going to school, going home, and not really thinking about all of those other opportunities. And there's so many opportunities.
There are. Yeah. Like, this year we've met a lot of new people through like work over the summer. And so like we come to school and it's like we've got a like community of friends and we all hang out like for hours after class. And it's so much more fun. It's so much more enjoyable to be on campus with people, and as opposed to going home and just like, okay, now I got my homework to do or now I got to do this. Like, it's a much more enjoyable experience. Like, I'm having the best time in my fourth year, and I wish that I would have, you know, met these people and not been such like a, you know, leave, come, like keep going home or right after class or whatever, like in my first year. That's, yeah, same thing.
Even from a mental health perspective, I think
Huge.
100%.
Huge.
It helps the experience, because if you're just worrying about university, can be stressful. You know, it's an adjustment to adjust from high school, and depending on what you're studying too, like courses vary from program to program. But I mean, all students, regardless of the program, they have their own stresses, they have their own work. And from a mental health standpoint, making friends or trying to get involved in areas where you're interested in, that can help you, because it gives you a break from the schoolwork that's maybe plaguing your mind, and you can't get it out of your head, that one assignment or that one exam. But for, you know, the next 2 hours, you're in a club or in a team surrounded by other people who share an interest with you, whether that be GL Zone. Okay, so I'm going to forget my midterm I had today or something like that, and just work with my team members to try and create a meaningful experience for the Glendon community. Like, you get to forget kind of about your problems and just focus on the good that's in your life right now and the good you're going to create in somebody else's.
And for students, the opportunity to be a staff, like the work study program, you can earn some money while you're learning these roles and participating. And it's just a great opportunity, I think, for students that they don't realize. And there's work study opportunities all over the campus.
There are, and you can do it on days when you're here on campus. Like, I work on days that I have classes, and then when I don't have classes, I don't come to campus, so I don't work. But the days that I am on campus, I can work. And so my days get longer, which is good because I enjoy being at school, and I get to, like you said, make some money and do something that I enjoy.
And the great thing about working on campus is you're a student before you're an employee.
Exactly. Yeah. That still works.
Yeah. Like, I can call in and say, okay, I have an exam tomorrow. Like, I really need this day to study. And they'll, you're accommodating. Or I'm ill. Like, I've gotten sick because someone in my course was sick too. And like, it's okay. Like, I don't need to be scared to approach my quote unquote boss, even though Mina feels very friendly. I don't need to be scared to, because I know that they'll understand,
Definitely. What's been the most rewarding part for you from the GL Zone program?
I think just meeting people and interacting with students on a daily, weekly basis. Or like when I was doing peer mentorship last year, I had a lot of students that requested check-ins with me. And it was fulfilling to be able to answer their questions and to be that person that they reach out to and rely on, or what's the word? I'm blanking.
Turn to for advice.
Yes, there you go. That can support them through these things. Sorry. And so, yeah, like that's definitely been one of the most rewarding parts of it.
I would say the same. I mean, obviously, I've only been here for 1 year, but I would say that it's been rewarding in the sense that I've been giving a lot of students advice at the kiosk, sometimes through emails, and their warm, friendly responses being like, thank you so much, or you've helped me so much, or just even like a have a great day, or just chatting with them about their day. Like, it feels rewarding because I feel like Glendon has given me a lot, especially in the last 2 years, now that I've really gotten more involved, that it's nice to give back to a community that's given me so much. And I feel like that makes it so when you finally do graduate and have to move on, you'll look back fondly on your time at Glendon, and it'll always feel more like family and home than it did an educational institution. Like, it was for education, but it was for more than just education.
Mm-hmm. We definitely want like students to get the most out of their experience. And so that's why we want them to have all the hacks, all the advice that our other students have to give.
Yeah, the inside scoop. And you get an amazing reference letter by yours truly.
Yeah. It's definitely a stepping stone to a future career and a lot of different skills that you can build while you're here. And just the collaboration with different departments and within our office itself, because we have the GL Zone peer mentorship, but we also have international students. We have the residence life team. We have the communications team.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times Anna's team is looking for volunteers to be in the videos, for the social media.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome. Like, our entire team is great. I feel like I'm definitely grateful for everybody within the office. Just the community, the walking in and just saying hi to Kate or at the front desk, or seeing everyone. It's just really nice.
It's nice too to have someone to fill in the gaps. Like, maybe you're not that great in public speaking, and so you ask your colleague for some advice, or in communication, maybe like check this email, or can you have a look at my activity? What do you think?
Yeah.
It's just nice to have that kind of collaboration.
Yeah.
I'm the talker and Mina's the planner.
Well, it's funny because sometimes students will come on the tour and they'll say, I recognize the students from the videos.
Oh, that's
and so
so
they'll come to the
fun.
open house, or they'll come to Go Day, and they'll already know Lily and Vivian.
Yeah.
From our
Dynamic
cameos.
duo. Exactly.
Where's my Oscar?
They're famous. That's awesome. Is there anything that you would like to see happen with GL Zone in the future? Like an evolution? Like, we're constantly looking for ways to change the program to make it what the students need.
I feel like I would love to see even more engagement from the community. I feel like it would be great if even we had more than just the kiosk like set up around different areas, because right now we're mostly in the center of excellence, but I think in the future, if we were to go other places, it would be nice to have people in the cafeteria come and stop by. And I think it would be good if maybe more people knew about everything that we were doing, because then they could benefit from it. And I never knew about what was going on with the kiosk stuff until I kind of realized what GL Zone was when I met Vivian. There's a common theme here, everyone. So I feel like maybe, I think something for the future that could be better would be just maybe advertising it even more, because I think everybody could benefit from what GL Zone has to offer. And I think if people just ask questions or even stop by to say hello, they'd realize that it's a great program and they can always have a friendly face. And
it's not just like the kiosk activity isn't just for first years, right? It's for everybody in the school community. And so like last year, sometimes on our breaks, like in between classes, or when our teacher or professors would give us a break, like we'd go down to the kiosk and do the kiosk activity. So it's just like a quick little like 10, 15 minutes where you just spend your day, you chat with the person that's sitting there. You do like, a craft, you get a snack, like really you're winning. And like good for your mental health. And it's just a way to let go of everything that you've learned about in class and start fresh again when you go back. So
and you can make friends too, or you can meet people that have been in your program that are maybe ahead of you, and they can give you advice about courses that they've taken maybe, or their experience. And it's just overall very beneficial to try and just take advantage of those services offered. So definitely don't be afraid, I would say, to go to the kiosk to increase engagement. That would be my biggest thing.
Yeah.
And it's not just about peer mentorship because like you guys are with student affairs, you know, like, and we're a big team and pretty much you do like the activities and all of that. So we want that student engagement.
For sure.
And we want, like, you guys are in charge of so many like activities on campus. Like the stuff that you do with the kiosks is amazing. And the promos and all of that. So it's like beyond a mentorship. So yeah, I think definitely.
And the thing is, it's not about the activity. It's not about what craft you're doing
Yeah.
or
No.
the fact that you're doing a craft at all. It's an excuse to get people to stop by
Yeah.
so that we can
Yeah.
engage.
It's about the
Absolutely.
people.
It's about the connection.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Maybe
that's
we should
amazing.
do a podcast in the middle of.
do a podcast right at the Glendon kiosk.
Drop in interviews.
Drop in, yeah.
Drop in interviews. Yeah.
Anonymous
Speaker's Corner.
Speaker's Corner. There you go.
ASMR or something. Yeah.
Well, this has been amazing. Thank you guys so much. I know that students that watch this or listen to this will benefit so much, and maybe it'll just encourage them to come and connect with a peer mentor.
No, thank you
Thank
for
you for having
us.
us. Yeah, it was really fun.
It was good. It was a good way to reflect on all these past 4 years, to be honest, and just everything that GL Zone and Glendon has offered us. And hopefully everyone else will kind of have a similar experience or find their own fun in their own home and community in Glendon.
Yeah. And again, everyone, Mina, you want to let them know how they can apply maybe for next year?
Yeah, definitely. Students looking to become a peer mentor, they can apply on our website. On the Student Affairs website, we have an application form, as well as the postings themselves are on the York U Careers website for work-study positions. We're currently hiring for summer and fall.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but we need good students. And you guys have definitely left your handprint with us. So
Thank
Thank
the
you
legacy
so
lives
much.
on. We're always sad when the students graduate.
you. I mean, we're in concurrence, so we'll still be at Glendon and York for another 2 years.
For a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see you around.
They can't
sure,
get rid of us
absolutely.
yet.
No,
definitely.
no, we're too ingrained.
Well, thank you. Yeah, stay tuned for the next episode. The next episode, we've got something really exciting coming up. So you don't want to miss out.
Definitely
Keep an
not.
eye
It's
on
going
our
to be
socials.
juicy. There's going to be some tea there. For sure.